Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault in Japan, where it's now official. After an opening ceremony shaped by COVID, Tokyo 2020 is on.
Canada!
Scenes from the stadium and with families cheering from afar.
I'm Asha Tomlinson, also tonight, fully vaccinated, COVID infected.
It didn't really occur to us that we were putting ourselves at risk.
What we're learning about breakthrough cases. First-year university students scramble to find a room.
It's just a bad situation to be in because you're just kind of left stranded.
And they're beautiful, tough, and under threat.
I try to help those that have no chance of surviving.
Trying to save a species, one monarch at a time. This is The National.
A view tonight of the Olympic flame just hours after athletes paraded into Japan's Olympic Stadium for the opening ceremony, and the Games have officially begun. Welcome once again to Tokyo. After all the adversity these Olympic Games faced and the athletes faced when COVID turned the world upside down, the opening ceremony was a chance to celebrate, to really mark this moment. We'll have all the highlights in a minute, but at the heart of any Olympics is, of course, competition. Canadians are already showing they are in it to win.
And that one gets down.
On day one, Canada faces Australia in softball. Swimming competition gets underway, and Canada gets its first crack at a medal. Michael Woods is one of 3 Canadian cyclists in the men's road race.
Carling Zeeman of Canada in second.
It all builds on what was a solid day for Canadian rowers.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking like they've slotted into their rhythm.
Jessica Sevick and Gabrielle Smith qualified for a semifinal in the women's double sculls. A team triumph, but also a personal one.
It's pretty special. It's been a long 16 months, and we've both made a lot of sacrifices.
Of course, COVID is still a big issue. At least 3 more athletes have tested positive. The number of games-related cases now more than 100. Now, COVID had a major impact on the opening ceremony, both in terms of the performance itself and the protest it sparked. Briar Stewart takes us through it all.
This was not the original blueprint for the opening ceremony, but like everything else, it was reworked and shaped by the COVID pandemic. The symbolism of a solitary runner training on a treadmill and the reality of a much sparser parade of nations. Canada!
Canada!
Rugby Sevens player Nathan Hirayama and basketball player Miranda Ayeem were the flag bearers.
Just very, very honored to represent such an incredible group of athletes who have been working hard for this moment, and for all the Canadians back home as well.
About 10% of Canada's 370 athletes marched into the nearly empty stadium, most kept away by COVID restrictions and ongoing competition.
I feel like it would be really cool to go, but we're here to get the gold medal, so I think that's the most important thing.
Despite the subdued ceremony, there was an impressive display of art and technology. These Olympic rings were made from commemorative trees planted in 1964, from seeds that athletes brought to the Olympic Games held here that year. And perhaps the most spectacular moment, an image of the Earth formed by more than 1,800 drones.
Today, wherever in the world you may be, we are united in sharing this moment together.
But not everyone is on board. Hundreds protested throughout the day in Tokyo.
It's unbelievable, why the government and this city want to hold such a big event in the midst of the pandemic.
But still, many are excited for games they can't even attend. A crowd gathered in front of a countdown clock as it ticked toward the start of the opening ceremony. I want to see Japan and the whole world rejuvenate throughout the Olympics, said one man. It was a long journey to get here, but like the torch relay, put on pause due to the pandemic, the flame and the country have finally made it to this point. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Tokyo.
Now, for relatives and friends of Canadian athletes, it would have been so hard today not being able to cheer from the stands. They still cheered, they just did it from home. Stephen D'Souza shares the experience of two oh-so-proud families, including a mom and dad of a flag bearer.
That's right after the qualifying game.
For as long as she's been traveling the world representing Canada in women's basketball, Miranda Ayim's parents have been close by to cheer her on.
She wrote a poem about how proud it was to wear Canada on her uniform, so in 2004.
2 years ago, Gus and Sandy began planning their trip to Tokyo, but thanks to the pandemic, they've had to accept they can't be there in person.
It'll be tough. Can't even describe how challenging that'll be for both of us, but certainly for me. And then afterwards, not being able to hug her after a game.
Linda South shows off the hardware her daughter, synchronized swimmer Jacqueline Simoneau, has won over the years.
That's her first gold from the Toronto Pan Ams.
She says she'll miss that moment when she makes eye contact with her daughter from the stands.
That could put me in tears very easily because it's a very touching moment to see your kids swim under those rings, and it's a passion.
Back in London, their absence is especially hard because it's Miranda's third and final Olympics and her first as flag bearer.
Here is Canada.
Heart beating and joy, and you could hear everyone just yelling and cheering.
One advantage of being home, sharing this moment with the friends and family who've supported their daughter's Olympic journey.
This is just so special for so many people, you know, so it's just very humbling, but it's also much wider than just us.
And a quick text reminds them Miranda is never far away. So even though they may be half a world away,
hey, isn't that a great moment?
they can still be side by side. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, London, Ontario.
The Olympic Games have always been a tantalizing opportunity for protest, even though the rules have also always been pretty clear. Political or other protests from athletes were not welcome. Well, in 2021, you can imagine how that is going over. As Thomas Douglas shows us, the rules have had a tweak, so what's going to change?
At an event steeped in history, consider this a clash with the present. Soccer players from the U.S., Britain, and beyond, each taking a knee before kickoff, a symbol of a racial reckoning crossing borders and oceans.
We're united in the decision to take the knee. I think we want to fight all forms of discrimination, inequality.
From football player Colin Kaepernick's kneeling to the wave of Black Lives Matter demonstrations emboldening athletes to denounce racism, there have long been signs these summer games would be politically heated.
The Olympics has always been a space for political conversation. And to say that it's not that space is very troublesome.
Before the games, hammer thrower Gwen Berry turned away from the U.S. flag, and fellow American athlete Noah Lyles raised a gloved fist.
Are each wearing a black glove.
All reminiscent of sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos in '68, kicked out of the games for demanding justice for Black Americans. Some senior Olympic officials still consider this the wrong place for protest.
Anybody who's showboating before his or her race, for me, is not a serious athlete.
In the Olympic Charter, Rule 50 formally bans demonstration or so-called political, religious, or racial propaganda. Even the Australian women's soccer team, simply posing with an Indigenous flag, can draw calls for caution.
Whatever is done shouldn't distract them from the game that they played.
The IOC recently loosened restrictions, officially allowing athletes to stage demonstrations before and after competition, as long as it's not considered disruptive. But they could still be punished if they protest on the podium.
And some advocates for athletes' rights consider that unfair and unenforceable.
I'm very doubtful that the IOC would sanction anyone, because the backlash they would receive from the community, from the global citizens, would be huge.
This could yet be a test of what these rings stand for or against. Thomas Douglas, CBC News, Tokyo.
We will have more Olympic coverage later in the program. Andrew meets with Canada's next potential swimming superstar, whose idol is Penny Alexiak.
Well, it's just amazing that I get the opportunity to train with her. It's like crazy because like 5 years ago in 2016, she was like my biggest role model in the swimming world.
14-year-old Summer McIntosh on the friendly rivalry driving Canada's quest for gold in the pool. Plus, I'll look at the twists and turns, the dreams and the doubts on the road to Tokyo 2020. So that is all in about 15 minutes. Until then, Asha, back to you in Toronto.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Adrienne. Turning now to the COVID story and new research on vaccines. A UK study on the Pfizer vaccine suggests that a longer wait between the first and second dose provides the strongest immune response, with a sweet spot of 8 weeks. The study has not yet been peer-reviewed. Officials in Europe have become the first to approve the use of the Moderna vaccine for 12 to 17-year-olds. The authorization came after research involving more than 3,700 children. Until now, only Pfizer has been available for that age group. Health Canada is currently reviewing Moderna for use in teens. New Brunswick announced it is taking a big step at the end of the month. All COVID restrictions and social distancing requirements will be lifted. It's the latest in a series of reopening moves across the country. But COVID isn't over yet. Since hitting a peak in mid-April, Canada's average daily new cases have declined, rapidly at first, then less sharply. More recently, though, they've been flat at around 300 to 500 cases a day. But look closer at this past week. The country has seen a slight uptick. A reminder the virus is still spreading. And lately, we've been hearing reports of the virus infecting even fully vaccinated people. Christine Birak looks at why health officials are not alarmed, but they're keeping a close eye on these cases.
And the Yankees take the lead.
From the major leagues to Olympic athletes in Tokyo. Tests show some fully vaccinated athletes have become infected with the coronavirus.
As long as the coronavirus is circulating, there will be some breakthrough infections.
But there aren't many. Recent Ontario data shows less than 5% of people who've been vaccinated had infections 14 days after their second dose. And across Canada, breakthrough infections make up 0.5% of all COVID cases.
Our best protection is having no COVID in circulation, and our second best protection is being fully vaccinated.
No vaccine offers 100% protection, but a new study found even up against the highly contagious Delta variant, 2 shots of Pfizer were 88% effective, and AstraZeneca was 67% effective at preventing any symptoms of COVID-19. But the virus did slip past vaccine defenses at this music festival south of the border.
It didn't really occur to us that we were putting ourselves at risk.
Julie Greenhouse and her partner were fully vaccinated and infected. The festival was outdoors, but didn't require proof of vaccination or masks.
I think if I had thought it through that I could have gotten COVID from someone unvaccinated, I would have been smarter.
Health officials advise fully vaccinated people don't need to mask around others who are fully vaccinated, but should mask in crowded places and indoors with partially or unvaccinated people. Doctors say those who are not vaccinated should consider this.
Well, the vast majority of cases we're seeing are still basically unvaccinated or partially vaccinated people.
That said, health officials say they're watching breakthrough infections closely. An increase in cases could signal protection from the vaccines is fading and boosters could be needed. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Australia has been struggling to contain new COVID cases. Now a concerned New Zealand is taking steps to protect itself.
We've always said that our response would evolve as the virus evolved. This is not a decision we have taken lightly, but it is, we believe, the right one.
For at least the next 8 weeks, Australians will no longer be able to enter New Zealand without having to quarantine. Travel had already been suspended from several Australian states where case numbers are especially high. The country has seen a steep rise in COVID cases over the past month, and half the population is now back in lockdown. As Lindsay Duncombe shows us, restrictions are difficult on some trying to leave Australia and on others desperate to return.
Gonna help me press it?
Hello! How are you
sweetie.
For Claire Anstead, the video calls to her mom in Regina just aren't enough anymore.
It's become really quite unbearable because I don't know when I'll see them next.
Anstead is a Canadian scientist married to an Australian living in Melbourne, and she says she's pretty much trapped. Australia's early success in containing the virus was due in part to strict border rules. Citizens who want to leave the country have to apply for an exemption. As a Canadian, Anstead could come home, but
There's no guarantee that we would have a flight back or be allowed back into Australia.
that's because there are currently more than 35,000 Australian citizens or permanent residents waiting to get back into the country. Kelsey Kelly, her husband, and her baby are on that list. Still, she's nervous.
Flights are being cancelled last minute. We would be selling everything to move, so if our flight was cancelled, we would be paying quite a lot of money to stay in a hotel.
There have been government-organized repatriation flights, but many Australians are at the mercy of the market. Add a plane ticket to mandatory hotel quarantine, getting home can run tens of thousands of dollars. Complicating it all, Australia's vaccination rollout has been slow. Fewer than 15% of the country is fully vaccinated. Cases are going up, and lockdowns are back in much of the country.
Okay, let's go see the birds.
During the pandemic, Claire Anstead had fertility treatments, a miscarriage, surgery. She's expecting now, due in March. She's applied for her mom to come to Australia for the birth. They know it's not likely.
I will be heartbroken. I would just be heartbroken.
In the meantime, they wait. And at least there's this.
Say bye-bye to Omi. Okay, ready? Big kiss.
Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.
Let's turn to Afghanistan now, where recently things have been changing fast. U.S. forces are making their way out, and Taliban fighters are making rapid gains inside. They've taken strategic border crossings and are threatening major towns and cities. This week, as the Afghan president attended Eid prayers, Kabul shuddered with the sounds of shelling. As the U.S. rapidly withdraws from Afghanistan, the Pentagon avoids talk of defeat.
A negative outcome, a Taliban automatic military takeover, is not a foregone conclusion.
Some American veterans feel otherwise.
100% we lost the war. The whole point was to get rid of the Taliban. We didn't do that.
Take Kandahar, once a center of Canadian operations in the country. It's reportedly encircled and under Taliban siege. According to some estimates, about 3/4 of the country is either under fire or already seized by the Taliban, a reality tacitly acknowledged by the U.S. It's fast-tracking a process to get up to 18,000 Afghan interpreters and civilian allies out of the country before they suffer the consequences of a Taliban victory. Now, Ottawa just made a similar announcement about the thousands of Afghans who helped with Canada's military effort. But as Ashley Burke explains, the plan so far is light on details and time may be running out.
And that's me. I had a Canadian flag on it.
Ahmed Mulgawri helped save the lives of Canadian soldiers. Now he wants Canada to save the lives of his family.
Our families are facing these ruthless, savage enemies because we choose to serve with the Canadian forces.
Mulgawri worked as a cultural and language advisor. He listened to Afghan intelligence, then warned the military about deadly threats.
The interpreters were the ears and the mouth of the mission in Afghanistan.
He says his sisters and in-laws in Afghanistan are in immediate danger because the Taliban want him.
They can just kidnap one member of family and they're gonna ask you to come forward. If not, they're gonna kidnap 2 or 3 and then they're gonna keep executing and giving you a deadline to show up.
Lives hang in the balance here, which is why we are taking timely and decisive action.
Today, the government announced a new program to resettle interpreters and other workers who helped Canada's mission and their families.
They too have been targeted very deliberately by the Taliban for intimidation, violence, and even death.
I think it's a big win across the board.
Retired Captain Corey Shelson, who served in Afghanistan, has pushed the government to act. He told us he spoke today to a stranded interpreter.
He's happy to hear that, Afghan interpreters who served for Canada, as well as their family members who are at imminent risk, will be evacuated. But there were questions that he posed. When is it going to happen? Who within my family can I bring?
The answer is unclear. The government offered no details, citing security concerns for those on the ground.
Please, we do not need a lip service. We need action.
Mulgari says he won't be relieved until he knows the details and plans to protest with others on Parliament Hill. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Mary Simon will soon be the Queen's representative, Canada's first Indigenous Governor-General. But before being sworn in, she met with the Queen herself.
So you're taking over a very important job.
Yes, I'm very privileged to be able to do this work over the next few years. I think it's vitally important for our country.
Indeed, yes.
A short video of yesterday's online encounter was posted today on the Queen's Instagram account. It highlighted Simon's work on Arctic and Indigenous issues. You can join CBC News for live coverage on Monday of the installation of Governor-General Mary Simon, Canada's 30th Governor-General. The ceremony will be conducted for the first time in both English and Inuktitut. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. on CBC Gem, or you can follow on cbcnews.ca, also on Facebook.
Next, I'll be back from Japan with a look at Tokyo 2020 through a 2021 lens. How it started, how it's going. Plus, Andrew sits down with the youngest member of Team Canada.
I'm actually pretty good at handling nerves.
And later, why some Canadian universities are rejecting students from residence.
Just the whole situation is kind of sucks.
What the schools say is behind this crunch. Plus, the international blitz to save a species.
What's it like for you when you see these butterflies? I saw one just now flying around.
There's another one. It's an experience of awe.
How amateurs and experts are coming together for the monarch butterfly. We're back in 2.
Okay, so you can probably expect a more aggressive start when competition begins for Canada's triathletes next week. Members of both the men's and women's teams spent the day preparing, as did Canada's male and female rowers who didn't run heats today. With 29 athletes, it is the team's largest rowing contingent in 25 years. Whatever the sport, Canadian athletes are excited. The same, though, cannot be said for many in Japan, where support for the Games is, well, it's not great. But remember, before all the worry and the protests, there was a time when Japan was ecstatic about the Olympics and the hope they represented. Remember what this was supposed to be. Tokyo 2020, as the story goes, pitched a safe, organized Olympics, reassuringly reliable after the chaos and discord of Rio.
Tokyo!
And destined to be so thunderously, joyfully loud that some would imagine nasty cracks in the global community being momentarily patched by the togetherness of sport. These, after all, were supposed to be the recovery games. Recovery from decades of economic struggles and the catastrophe of the earthquake turned tsunami turned nuclear accident of Fukushima. Tokyo 2020 was to represent Japan's rebirth, a poignant nod to the triumph of the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Japan rebuilding then after the defeat and devastation of the Second World War. The bullet train, the expressway, the modernity, the legacy of those games still lives.
See you in Tokyo!
That it could be that good again was the fantasy for Tokyo 2020. But this is the fever dream. Silence the soundtrack now. Most volunteers told they're not needed. Almost all spectators, international and domestic, told to stay home. News and organizer could barely bring himself to deliver. Maybe robots will take their place in the stands. And the piped-in crowd noise from past Olympics is supposed to fill the silences for the athletes. But can it really fill the void?
And looking for Canada's first Olympic gold of the Games.
There will be no nail-biting, bursting with pride parents in the stands.
They did it! Mom knows it. She's extremely happy, whistling away.
Can you imagine an Olympics without the mums and dads? COVID did that. Long before the virus barged in and the world stopped spinning, Tokyo 2020 was always going to have some issues. Heat was and will be a big one. Brace yourselves for what will likely be the hottest games on record. That curve athletes can handle, prepare for. But when COVID's global rampage forced a year-long delay to maybe all the sacrifices of years of grueling training felt lost. Athletes are so driven, though, they'd already given everything, but gave more. Training became so strange, so lonely. They kept at it. But so did COVID. Its grip strong enough to force Tokyo into a fourth state of emergency. Barely 34% of people in this country have had a single shot. Frustration is building with the government accused of being more protective of the games than the people. Cries to cancel ignored, part because of a contract, part because of principle. So it is happening, an Olympics in Japan, but not connected to Japan. That's the heartbreak in a place that so wanted to host the Games. But here's the hope that a safety-first Olympics still hangs on to its soul. These will be the first gender-balanced Games in history. There are more out LGBTQ athletes at these Olympics than at all other Olympics combined. So there are reasons for pride. And absent the spectacle, maybe this is just about sport, no distractions. Arms driving through water, shoes pounding on tracks. Faster, higher, stronger, as the original story goes. Just the athletes, their training, and their moment of truth. Delayed.
Canada!
But here now. And it gets real for Canada's swim team tomorrow as first heats get underway in a number of events. So look for appearances from Penny Alexiak, Taylor Ruck, and Sydney Pickram. Tune in at 6 a.m. Eastern with Rob Snook and Byron McDonald from CBC Sports. So those swimmers are among the reasons there is so much optimism about Canada's chances in the water. Another reason is Summer McIntosh. Here's Andrew's conversation with Canada's next not-so-secret weapon.
Take your marks.
So Summer McIntosh is trying to challenge Penny Alexiak here.
Watch the swimmer just in the upper yellow lane. She's 14 years old, about to pull away from the pack, a group of her peers with much more experience than she has.
And it is Summer McIntosh pushing hard. Summer McIntosh.
Her name, Summer McIntosh. This was the moment she qualified to compete in Tokyo for Team Canada.
She's done it in 1:56.19.
But what should really blow your mind is that this was only about a month ago.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just speechless.
And now, here we are, days away from the biggest race of her life.
I have to tell you, I think I watched your 200-meter Olympic qualifier here in Toronto. Like, I must have watched that half a dozen times. It was a really, really exciting race. What was going through your head? Because at some point, I'm sure it hits you, oh my gosh, I'm ahead. Oh my gosh, I might book my ticket to Tokyo here and now. I mean, this must all feel pretty wild.
Yeah, it's the craziest feeling.
Now here they go into the last turn. See, Summer McIntosh made a great move in and out of that wall.
That kind of hit me when I pushed off the wall for my last 50. I was like trying to figure out where everyone was, and it was just a crazy rush of adrenaline, that's for sure.
Penny Alexiak, who I know you have a pretty good relationship with.
Penny Alexiak, the star of 2016 for Canada.
You train with her, you guys are close. She says you're all gas and no brakes, that she loves you but hates training with you because you push her maybe a little too hard. I mean, tell me about your relationship with Penny.
Well, it's just amazing that I get the opportunity to train with her. It's like crazy because like 5 years ago, in 2016, she was like my biggest role model in the swimming world. So to be able to train with her and for her to say those things about me just means a lot.
Where were you in 2016 when Penny was breaking out onto the world stage?
For the 2016 trials, I was actually on deck because my mom's part of the alumni, so I actually got to take a picture with her, and it was just really surreal. To see where I've come from 5 years ago, just insane.
I gotta ask you about your mom. Can you tell me about her?
My mom is just an amazing person all around. I just love how she was also a swimmer because then we can kind of relate on the same level.
And there is Canada's 17-year-old Jill Horsted, a swimmer at Etobicoke.
She also went to the Olympics in 1984, so for her to have that experience, she just gets where I'm coming from when it comes to an amazing mom. She drives me every day.
She's done what you are doing. Like I'm a dad, right? I've got 2 kids, and I'm forever trying to convince them that I know what I'm talking about. I don't think your mom has quite that same challenge, right? I mean, she knows what she's talking about. How does that translate in real life?
She never really gives me advice like with technique or anything, but she always just gets it whenever I have a bad race or bad practice, how to console me, and she just understands where I'm coming from.
So let's talk about Tokyo. Like, my gosh, how could you possibly prepare for something like that? I mean, what's going through your head?
Well, I'm just trying to focus on training right now to get to my race goals. But I'm just trying to like visualize what it's going to be like. I don't really know what to expect, but I don't think it'll be that overwhelming since there's not going to be like a full crowd. So I think that's a bit to my advantage, to be honest.
But it was only a few weeks ago that you punched your ticket to Tokyo, and now you are going to be swimming, what, like the biggest race of your life so far? Like, doesn't that seem a little crazy?
Yeah, well, I'm actually pretty good at handling nerves because I know, like, at the end of the day, all that matters is if I'm happy with my race or not, and if I'm not happy, I can see where I went wrong, and no matter what, I can learn from the experience.
It is going to be a hell of an experience, Summer. What's after Tokyo?
Well, I'll probably take some time off to, be a normal teenager and hang out with my friends. I'll just have some fun.
Well, in the eyes of Canadians, I don't think you'll ever be just a normal teenager. Summer McIntosh, I wish you all the best in Tokyo, and what a wonderful chat. Thanks for this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wow, what an incredible life at just 14. Adrienne, as competition gets going, what's the word there? How do you think Team Canada will do?
Well, I mean, a couple things. I guess, Asha, because of the pandemic, not a lot of competitions have been happening, so countries don't have this sense of how their rivals have changed or performing. So there will be surprises. That's one of the beautiful things about sports. There is, though, this data company called Grace Notes. So it does these projections, and it has Canada on deck to win 21 medals. That's one less than Rio, a bit more than the past 3 games, the average of the past 3 games in the summer. So let's just see if the human factor messes with the math of the projections.
We are rooting for them no matter what. Thanks, Adrienne. Talk to you soon.
You bet.
Up next, the pandemic is creating new problems for university students.
To get denied from residence, it's just a bad situation to be in because you're just kind of left stranded.
How some Canadian universities are struggling to fix this housing challenge. And later, taking in a different view. We're there as visitors return to the CN Tower for the first time this year. Welcome back. Incoming university students and their parents are getting an eye-opening education in pandemic housing. Because of COVID-19, many institutions are cutting back on the numbers in residence. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson looks at the scramble for a room.
Second-year Dalhousie student Kate Clark studied online from home last year, longing to finally live on campus.
I was hoping to get into Risley Hall residence, which we're standing right beside.
But Dalhousie is giving the spots to first-year students only because COVID precautions mean only one person per room. So Clark's application was denied.
You don't know the profs, you don't know the area. So to get denied from residence, it's just a bad situation to be in because you're just kind of left stranded.
But at some universities, being a first year isn't a guarantee of a spot in residence. 17-year-old Dylan Bentley is among hundreds of incoming students at the University of Victoria, scrambling to find a place to live.
Just the whole situation is kind of sucks, you know, like I got to figure out how to find a place off campus, and everyone's trying to find those same places.
The university says it experienced a greater number of first-year residence applications, including from those students who deferred acceptance last year.
We're very concerned, and that we're doing everything we can to make sure every available space on campus is open for first-year students, and that we're working with community to encourage local landlords and renters to open up their homes in ways they have in the past.
Some universities point to a solution, mandating vaccination for students in residence.
This allows us back to having double rooms and increasing the capacity in our residences. We're also expanding our capacity by having students in an off-campus site that is close to campus and that we're going to run just like a U of T residence.
Just this week, 2 Ontario universities added a vaccination requirement for students living in residence. But University of Victoria and Dalhousie University say it isn't a requirement. Dalhousie says its policy is in line with public health recommendations, where COVID-19 shots are strongly encouraged, but not mandated. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Still ahead, tackling climate change through urban gardening.
2 years ago, we started experimenting growing rice in the garden, and we did it.
How those experiments can lead to real change. And later, from Mexico to Canada, the international operation to save the monarch butterfly. Welcome back. With another heat wave expected to hit southern BC with thousands of evacuees and with help needed from as far away as Mexico, it's hard to overlook the changing climate. Canadian agriculture will need to adapt, and Anayat Singh showed us recently urban farms are a hotbed of experimentation.
I'm growing lemongrass in a shooter.
In her tiny Toronto backyard, Jewel Gomes is experimenting with plants from warmer climes, like South American Zimbalo melons and Japanese ruby buckwheat. Gomes is part of a growing community of gardeners having success trading and growing seeds from all around the world here in Canada.
So 2 years ago, we started experimenting growing rice in the garden, and we did it, and we had that grains, and we could not believe it.
Gomes, an agronomist by training from the Philippines, has been inundated with requests for her exotic seeds, even from Indigenous farmers. They gave her rare blue corn in exchange for the seeds they wanted.
It's really amazed me because some people appreciate what we are growing here. They're looking for the seeds. They're reaching out for the seeds. Winter squash.
Researchers say urban gardeners like Gomes are also helping cities prepare for the worst impacts of climate change by increasing biodiversity and replacing paved surfaces with soil.
Just a simple things such as managing stormwater, keeping a penetrable surface that a vegetable production facility can offer, absorbing rainwater, which reduces flooding. It's not a paved surface, so it's not pushing water away.
Urban gardeners also help show what kinds of new crops can be commercialized. Okra is one vegetable that is now grown in Canada after urban gardeners first tried it out.
These are people who are agronomists or agriculturalists from other parts of the world. They have training in this, professional training. It's really amazing what you learn from someone who is just puttering around at home, but with that experimental mindset.
Experimentation that's helping the environment and proving city gardens can be important places for food production at the same time. Anayat Singh, CBC News, Toronto.
After the break, the fight to save a species.
I try to help those that have no chance of surviving.
why monarch butterflies are under threat and what some Canadians are doing to change that.
Oh, vamos!
Tense moments in Haiti today with gunfire and angry protesters just outside the funeral of President Jovenel Moïse. He was killed earlier this month when gunmen broke into his home. Several people have been arrested, but it's still unclear who planned the assassination or why. Severe flooding and landslides have killed at least 112 people in western India. More than 1,000 people have been rescued, but several areas are under evacuation orders. Monsoon season is in the region typically runs from June until September.
We are trying to be the most respectful we can, and it's not about us, it's about other people.
Major League Baseball's Cleveland team has announced its new name. Starting at the end of this season, the team will be known as the Cleveland Guardians. Last summer, it said it would consider changing its previous nickname, considered offensive. It is one of the most colorful sights of summer, a monarch butterfly taking flight. But these days, there are fewer of them to see, so an international team is keeping a close eye on their habitats, trying to save this threatened species. Sarah Levitt has the story.
Call it the Garden of Eden, but for caterpillars set to transform into monarch butterflies. And they have Roger Giraldo to thank for it.
I try to help those that have no chance of surviving. People always ask me, what is the use of a butterfly? And I always turn the question back to them as, what is mankind useful for? We destroy everything.
His backyard nursery may be small, but it's his way of helping out the species. This week, amateurs and experts alike across North and South America are taking part in the International Monarch Monitoring Blitz.
The egg is pretty small.
At the Montreal Botanical Garden, the work has already begun.
The aim of that blitz is to gather a better picture, a better snapshot of what's going on in Canada.
What's going on is bad news. Scientists believe the population of monarch butterflies has diminished by as much as 80% since the 1990s. In Canada, loss of habitat is partly to blame. The butterflies rely on the milkweed plant.
They come all the way from Mexico simply to feed and to complete their life cycle, and they can only do that with the presence of milkweed. It's the only plant that the caterpillars can feed on.
You don't have to go far to find a habitat in danger. In Montreal's West End, this green space serves as a monarch haven. What's it like for you when you see these butterflies? I saw one just now flying around.
Yeah, there's another one. It's an experience of awe. I'm impressed with the journey they make to come all the way from Mexico to Montreal.
The land here is federally owned, but leased to the administration in charge of the airport, the Aéroport de Montréal, land they hope to develop.
This is very troubling to us that construction would move forward on a site where we have registered sightings of monarch butterflies.
Diani says the time to act is now.
We'll lose one of the most magnificent migratory phenomenon in the animal kingdom.
And a magnificent sight to behold from Mexico to Canada. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Up next, a view no one has been able to see in 2021 until today. Visitors share their moment in the sky with us in our moment, right after this.
This free app brings you the news you want. Get the free CBC News app today.
It's another sign things are slowly getting back to normal. Tourist attractions across the country have been welcoming back visitors. Here in Toronto, the CN Tower, which has been closed since last October, reopened today to a long line of visitors. Their excitement to be up high in the sky again is our moment.
It's great to be back after the pandemic. Finally, it feels like life's going back to normal and like things are starting to reopen, so that's amazing.
I was waiting since a long time for this reopening after COVID-19. And when I come to know that it is opening on 23rd, and today is my birthday, so I'm celebrating my birthday here.
It's a great experience. Lots of room to walk around and everything's really safe.
It's nice views today, a nice sunny day, so we're loving it.
The opening of the CN Tower is hugely important as a symbol, but it's also hugely important in terms of animating this part of the city and having people come back to the bars and the restaurants and the hotels and the businesses in the downtown.
Now, officials say they expect to sell a maximum of 2,500 tickets per day, and they plan on reopening, you know, that revolving 360 restaurant. That's going to happen July 29th. I wonder if Drake will make another appearance and shoot another video there. We shall see. That is the National for July 23rd. I'm Asha Tomlinson. Good night.